the Tasty Freeze, located in Montezuma, Indiana. We offer over 32 soft-serve flavors of creamy, delicious ice cream, hand-breaded pork tenderloin, famous homemade pony sauce, and don't forget our roasted chicken.
Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again.
Open Tuesday through Sunday, 10:30 to 9:30. To place an order, call 765-245-2887. We appreciate your business.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Katie?
Thank you, gentlemen, for accommodating me needing to leave early. I brought you the information you requested on Senate Bill 183 that was signed into law by the governor on March the 11th. It is strictly a decision to be made by the council through an ordinance as to whether you want to do away with personal property mobile homes. And that is personal property mobile homes only, and that's ones that do not sit on a foundation that goes below the frost lines. So that would be mainly out at Raccoon Lake. There's some strewn throughout the county that individual owners own, but most of them are either in the Rockville mobile home park or they are mainly out around the lake. And that would take them off the tax rolls if that's what you choose to decide. And I also added the fiscal impact. If we were to collect every dollar on the mobile homes for this year, well, for 2025, the net tax looks to be $82,635 total. If everybody paid, that's the problem. Most people don't pay. Sorry, you got a question?
Go ahead.
We send them to collections, and then sometimes we don't even get that collected. A lot of times we don't, because people do not follow through and put it in their name once they buy it. They're supposed to bring the title in. They start at our office. We gather the information. They go to the treasurer's office, and they give them the permits to take to the BMV. Well, a lot of times I would buy it off of one of you, and I decided I'm not going through that hassle, and so I just leave it in your name. But I call the treasurer's office, and I say, send the taxes to me. But then when I sell it to someone else, nothing gets done, and so then all this runs in arrears, and so.
Now, I want to, because your point here is there could be a fiscal impact of $82,635 next year. But is that for real? And the reason that I'm going to say that is what we're, you know where I'm going with this. It's really for the audience. That what we would do is we would remove them from the assessment, which would lower the assessed value of any taxing unit from the county downward in this case, therefore taking all the levies and spreading it out over that assessed value. So what you would really have is a small tax increase on property to account for it. It's very minimal, right? You're talking about with the whole county-wide levy of whatever that is between every unit that would be affected. A very, very small tax increase because all the rest of the property is going to pick up the burden.
Yes, and the land that they're sitting on.
It's not a loss of revenue.
No,
we will not lose $82,000.
No, we will not, and it will be a minimal tax increase.
Yeah, and you would almost be unnoticeable, and
correct.
It's the possible exception, possibly, of Union Township.
Correct.
But the possibility you'll actually get the revenue now
is minimal.
because now you're not getting it.
We're not getting most of it.
What percentage collecting of that 82? Minimal.
It's very minimal, Kim. I've been out of town for 2 days working with the Assessors Association, where we did talk about this bill and what the ramifications are. Now, like for Allen County, they've got 1.2 million in mobile homes.
Different.
They are not going to do away with it.
But they also have a much larger assessed value base than Parke County has by
and they aren't like us, where we've got 1958, 1968 mobile homes.
Yeah.
They will not let anything below, I think she said, now 1990. And they move that up every few years. That as they take the mobile homes out, you can't bring in another 1990, you now have to bring in a 2000. So they have higher dollar mobile homes than we have, for sure.
Most
so that was
campers
just
at the lake. Most of them.
Yeah. Yes. So that is what I brought before you for you to decide what you would like to decide. I'm not gonna push you in one direction or another.
And it's also, these would be mobile homes that are not, where generally they're sitting on property they don't own.
Correct.
Whereas if you're talking about a mobile home, and you own the parcel that it's sitting on, it becomes real property, and not every case,
Not every
but in
case,
a lot
but
of cases. So we're not removing everybody's mobile home in the county, you're removing the ones that get assessed as personal property, not the real property.
Correct. Absolutely correct, gentlemen. So I will leave that before you to make whatever decisions you would like to make, but I had told you I would bring the information. So.
Has your association put together a model or an ordinance?
They have
used or
not thus
anything?
far. There's a couple that are talking about doing it. They haven't taken it before. I'm the first one that I know of within the association when we were meeting yesterday that is taking it to the council, and I'm just presenting it to you. They were gonna have their county attorneys pull up a ordinance for those that want to do it. So.
Okay, all right, we'll think about it.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
thank you for the information. Sam, you probably need to get going, so I'll get to you next. We don't want to keep the judge, so this is not a good thing.
All right, so some of you guys might know this, some of you may not, but my chief court reporter, Michelle Rife, is retiring. She was hired by Judge Dowd, so she's actually been with the county for about 35 years. So she's the dean of court reporters in West Central Indiana. Other court staffs regularly ask her for advice. Other judges call for advice from her. So she's got a huge wealth of knowledge. She's in charge of doing the jury summons, generating all kinds of reports that we have to submit to the state, maintaining the chronological case summary. In addition to writing, she's probably a better legal writer than 90% of most lawyers. So it's going to be a huge loss for the county. And really, we're not going to find anybody that's going to replace her or have anywhere near the experience that she's going to have. So the plan right now is for me to move up. Kim Gregg is the assistant court reporter. She'll do a fine job in Michelle's spot. And then move up the secretary to the assistant court reporter, and then hire a new secretary. The problem is it's going to be a huge learning curve for the secretary moving up to the assistant court reporter, and the new secretary also is going to have a huge learning curve because you have to learn a lot of things that they're just not going to know, like how to operate the case management system for one thing, but on top of everything else that they have to do, like answer the phone and generate their own reports. So what I'm asking for, and the reason I'm here, is for your approval temporarily to hire the new person now rather than, so let me back up a second. Michelle is retiring in late July. So what I'm asking for is to hire her replacement now, which if we advertise now, may not be till May 1st or somewhere around early May when we actually hire the person. But that would give us from May to August where Michelle would be there still to help train the new person. Otherwise, it's just going to be, in my opinion, too much for Kim to do by herself to try to train everybody on her own. And it would help with continuity of court operations for Michelle to be able to pass this information on to everything that she knows, her knowledge, to the new person. So I guess, as I said, in sum, what I'm asking for is to hire someone from basically May 1st to August 1st. My suggestion would be to pay them the salary that they're going to receive as court secretary. And the current court secretary position gets $34,098 a year. So that's $605.73 a week. for 12 weeks is $7,868.76. I know that there's also health insurance and whatnot, but I really feel like it's necessary for court operations. It's essential, in my opinion, that we do this. I guess one offset to it is we won't have anybody other than Kim that will have the longevity pay. So for the next few years, the overall pay is going to be slightly less. That will be appropriated out. So, I mean, that's what I'm asking for. If you have any questions on.
Well, we've done this in the past to try to help office holders when they're having a major change, so I see no reason why we can't do this in this point. I mean, it makes sense to me. I understand that you need to have somebody there to train, and so,
Well, that's
I
nice to
mean,
hear.
I think we're fine with that, or we are fine with that, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be fine. We'll have to figure out we'll have to move some money probably, won't we?
Oh, yeah, we'll
But
have
we
to
can
do money,
do- we'll-
we'll have as 2 secretaries for a period of time, and then the move will happen, so, and there'll be some payout to Michelle for any accrued vacation time and things that are per the employee handbook, so we'll have to move some in there probably too to deal with that, but we can take care of that. That's easy enough to do.
So I can go ahead and advertise.
I see no reason why you shouldn't go ahead and get the ball rolling on
Okay.
it, Judge, and start, so you can get the transition process started. And then we'll deal with the background stuff that has to be dealt with.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know if you have any questions.
All right, hey, thank you. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
we'll see
Thank
you. We'll see you. Yeah. Good morning, Commissioner Meese.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Go right ahead.
I'm not asking for
You're
anything.
not asking for anything today? That's a
In
shocker.
fact, I'm bringing you $1.13 million.
Oh, good. We'll just hand it over.
Just remember that when I come asking for stuff next time. That's it.
Good.
I had a meeting with the governor at Parke County yesterday, and all the award winners for the community crossings, and ours was 1.13. 1.5 was eligible. Our grant said 1506, so we were 6,000 over. So what they may have done is taken out one of the projects, but we'll get that project back in July when we apply for it again in July. So, but we should expect to get the full 1.5 million. So it's a good day, good process.
It's good. It's wonderful. Good program.
I really
Okay.
don't have much unless you got questions for us. There's a lot of things going on, as you know, but they're all moving along. So we're in pretty good shape. A lot of balls in the air at the time.
Okay. All right. Julie?
I don't have a lot for you. On our report, April report, we did 162 calls in March, which was well above our average. 127 of those resulted in transports, again, well above our average for March. Our busy season doesn't start until May usually, and we're already matching and surpassing our busy season numbers. So we're looking at another record-setting year, and I wish I could quit saying that, honestly. 2024 collections so far, we're at $235,044.75. Last year at this time, we were only at $210,000, so obviously our revenue matches our call volume increase. We're $25,033 above where we were in 2023, and 2023 was a huge year for us, calls and revenue both. So I was hoping that we would not surpass that this year so that we would get a little break, but it does not look like that's going to happen. The reason we don't have any accounts going to collections this month is because of the timing of the crossover with the new billing company. So we actually took on the remaining accounts that the old billing company had, and we're following up on, I think there's 42 accounts, we're following up on those. And since we took them back in-house, we have to wait the 3 months of sending invoices and following our procedure for that before those go to collections. And then the new billing company, they took over in August, and they don't have any accounts that have yet hit the mark of going to collections. So it's just, we won't have any this month. There's a potential we won't have any next month, and then it'll start back to our regular schedule. We did have 2 accounts go to litigation. So last month we had a record number of accounts go to collection. Next month we'll probably have a record number go to litigation. It's just following the closeout and onboarding of the 2 companies. We did have one full-time position open and 4 part-time positions. We attempted yesterday to conduct interviews before we had the mass casualty come up right in the middle of it. For the total of 5 positions that we have open, we have 6 applicants. So we did select one full-time person yesterday, and then we have to complete the last 2 interviews on Friday. So after, I think starting Monday, the following week, we'll be fully staffed again, full-time and part-time. We'll have 0 openings, which is a nice place to be.
That's good.
We are running into some issues getting the quotes for Medic 2. We call companies and they tell us that they have a truck available right away, and then they tell us that, just like with Medic 4, oh, that one got sold. And then we have these that'll be coming off the line in 3 months or 4 months, but they want to use them for demo units for their shows. I actually, yesterday and the day before, kind of broadened our search because there are other people out there, let's see what they have. I think I've reached out to a grand total of 24 different companies now and requested quotes. Some of them are taking like 2 to 3 weeks to get back to us. Some of them are just telling us we don't have what you need or we don't have access to it right now. Basically, count us out of your search. And then I had one company that they said, we have a ton of chassis, we have a ton of boxes, you can, I think they said they were within 6 months, they could have a project put together. And I asked him for the price on it, and he said, well, their standard, it starts at $197,000 as they sit. And then once they put them together, the price goes up. He's coming to meet with me tomorrow, so we'll see what their process really is, and I want to get some reviews on them. It's not a company I'm familiar with. They're out of North Carolina. So we're kind of continuing that search. I've broadened our horizons on that, but I'm trying to get more information before we make any decisions, because we're getting prices anywhere from, I think the highest one we got was $378,000.
Gee whiz.
Absolutely.
How much? 378?
$378,000, yeah.
Used to be you could buy an ambulance for $250 and it was a nice one.
I was pretty impressed that we were getting them, 150 to 200 was an average range, but they said they're still backed up from COVID and having the chassis issues, so now everything, in helping Vermilion County try to secure ambulances, there is nothing on the market for a used ambulance. You're looking at a 2006 or earlier older model or something with over 200,000 miles, and they're asking $70,000 to $90,000 for those.
No, we don't want that.
Oh, well, that's not for us.
Yeah.
We would never go that way, but yeah, it's crazy right now, the prices. That's all I have.
Got any questions for Julie? Sheriff?
Back on December 7th, our computer system went down and we lost a lot of data. So today I had to hire a company, they should be there right now, to recover some lost data. And then I'm also working on getting estimates to replace the system, get out from underneath our current person. I have one estimate and plan to get 2 more. So I just want to give you a heads up. The first estimate, or the only estimate I have, came in a little over $200,000.
Okay, well, let's see what you come up with, I guess. That's
Right.
we have the estimates and go from there. Questions? Okay. Chris?
I wanted to give you a quick update on the grants. Since your last meeting, we got reimbursed for 2 grants, and those are in the accounts and stuff. Here within the next few months, we're going to get reimbursement for the 3rd grant, which is the recording room that they're now installing down in the sheriff's office. And then the last thing is I'd like your approval to apply for a grant to help pay for that new computer system. This is only going to provide some of the money, $150,000 if we were to get it, and we would know by, I think, by the end of September if we were to be awarded, and then we could start spending the money in October.
Please do.
I think we'd be really fine with that. Yeah, be great. Yep. Consider it approved.
Thank you.
Okay. Public comments? Yeah. Oh.
Matt Hayes, Hamlin Center, on behalf of our President and CEO, Melvin Burks, we just want to give you all a letter. I have my counterpart, Ms. Airman, here. And we want to tell you CCBHC is here. and you will see what that is, but that is Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic.
You may not have one for me.
No, I do.
We have one for
I
all of them.
do.
So we just want to take
I
a
just
couple
didn't put them in
seconds
order,
to give you the letter and let you read that so that you have some information to do your own research and information, but also to let you know in the coming weeks and months, we'd like to be before you to share more details of what that means, what it means as service providers. This is going to be impacting all of our areas. And so we are meeting with all of our community partners, from schools to commissioners, councils, everywhere, hospitals, and delivering this information. So we just thank you for the time to do that. And if you have questions, let us know. But we have more information to come, and we want to be able to provide that to you. So thank you. If you have questions, I can take any, but again, we'll have more information down the road.
Questions? Okay, thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much.
Yeah, thanks. Okay,
Didn't get the minutes done.
no minutes, all right, so,
I thought we
2 months
would.
behind now.
I know it. She's working on it.
okay. Additional appropriations, see the attachment.
The first one for $5,000 is for the sheriff's department for overtime narcotic investigations for the sheriff department from the opium restricted fund. The next one is $5,500 is for Thrive West Central. It was for a grant they tried to get, and this is our share of what we need for it.
It's a revolving loan.
Is that revolving loan?
One-time payment, yeah, that make us eligible for whatever access to that revolving fund, yeah.
Okay.
The next one is for Exsoft, and it's partially our annual payment, and then payment 2 of 5 payments for installation.
Yeah, we dealt with this in the art committee last year when the X-Office, the tax software program, and we had made the agreement amongst the committee that up to $100,000 of the cost of that could come from art. So we're taking 50 of it this year, and we'll do the rest next year. And so we got to appropriate that.
And then the next one is redevelopment, buildings and ground, and you explain that one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But there's a $450,000 appropriation for buildings and grounds in the Central Park TIF.
Okay, any questions on that?
Move to approve the additional appropriations. Second.
Motion been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Transfers,
There is none.
no transfers. Pay the jury,
Motion to pay jury. Second.
motion been made and seconded, pay the jury, all in favor?
Aye.
Monthly reports, you have your cash flow from the auditor's office, we've already heard from EMS, thank you Julie. Redevelopment,
I don't know, the redevelopment commission's been doing much anything.
well, probably not.
Okay, first of all, every year the redevelopment commission is required to file a report to the gateway system regarding the TIF districts. New to that this year is that it needs to be presented to the fiscal body that established it, which happens to be the county council. So there are 7 members of the commission: Ronja Branson, David Brown, Bruce Hartman, Jim Meese, John Pratt, Park Swaim, and myself. They were all active at the beginning and the end of last year, which is the time period for this report. It has 1 employee, which is Cindy Todd. Cindy is not compensated directly by the redevelopment commission, but is the executive secretary, which makes her an employee of it. Finances for the district, we received in the West Central TIF $149,416 and spent nothing. The Central Park TIF received $219,886 and spent $1,546,000. That was for the sewer expansion on 41 North. The balance in the funds at the end of the calendar year in the Central TIF was $615,620. and then the West Central TIF was $361,494. There are currently 97 parcels in the West TIF. There are 335 in the Central TIF. That's the extent of the report I'm required to file and therefore communicate. Are there any questions about that? You also have in your packet a notice from the Redevelopment Commission regarding the public hearing that is required annually as well, discussing the TIF districts and the assessed values they have captured. The date of that meeting is May, the fourth Tuesday. Fourth Tuesday on that at 6 o'clock. Whatever date that is. Sorry, I don't have that in front of me, and it's not on the public notice. And finally, as I alluded to in the additional appropriations, there will be a brief mention made of what the Redevelopment Commission has been spending its time on.
It's the 28th.
28th, okay, thank you. May 28th is that public hearing. The Redevelopment Commission entered into a purchase agreement early last week for the purchase of the former Rockville National Bank building. The intended purpose of that building will be to create a county government annex. We are engaging consultants at this point. We are in the due diligence period, which will be a 90-day period, 60 days of inspection period, and 30 days of closing. The intended purpose is a government annex, and we are engaging consultants and so on to help us in that process. There is a press release that will be put out regarding more detail on that project and what we see happening, but that's what we've been spending a lion's share of our time on. So I realize that's out and around a little bit at this point already, but now you've heard exactly what it is that we are attempting to do with it. So that's my redevelopment report.
Planning Commission was, we only had one thing come before us, that was rezoning of a parcel up behind the State Highway barn at Bloomingdale. Mr. Fisher is going to put a pallet assembly mill back there. No sawing, just assemble. So that was approved. That's all we did.
Okay, there was no courthouse security meeting, and Tom's not here for the solid wastes. Moving on. Central and West Economic Development Notice. That's what we just talked about. So we had a missed encumbrance.
We did. We had an error in a missed encumbrance for a payroll account for the circuit court secretary in the amount of $832.59 that we need to add to the encumbrances.
We need to approve that.
Motion approved. Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the encumbrance. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, old business.
One thing for the auditor, I would like to have the budget form sent out to the departments by May 9th. You know that I sent you the letter yet. I did work on it. I think it's the second.
I'm behind on reading my.
Well, I can't remember, so I think it was the second Friday in June when I wanted them back. I think it's the date up and on.
Anything else?
Nothing.
Motion adjourned.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have extra.